Well, I guess I'm gonna start off just saying thanks for coming on to the Snide Show. I'm Ry. I know y'all see me on the Ry 5. I've got the Ry 5 segment, but yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I know as far as coming on like the other side of a more as like I guess a comedy enthusiast as myself. You were like one of the first that like caught my eye, like within in the like the NRV, like Roanoke in the Roanoke scene. But really enjoy your comedy.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, I always give you a shout out, man. You're there, man. I appreciate people coming to my shows. And what's cool now that I've been doing it for over a year and a half, when you first start doing it, you know, your family, your friends, you want them to come and all that stuff. After a while, they're like, okay, they're busy. They got things to do. Now I got to rely on, just people who enjoying the show. And
absolutely.
Now I'm getting that, man. I did a show last night. I had 4 couples that came to my show because they seen me perform.
That's awesome.
And they seen my comedy, and I know you're going to put on a good show. I know you're not doing the whole thing. I know you're just hosting, but I know you got the comedians that's going to make us laugh. And it's just great to see that. It's great to see that there's strangers that I haven't met until I did the comedy.
Yeah.
And now they're showing up for my shows, and I love them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you. Of course. Yeah. I did notice, like we were talking about, with the podcast, you do generally you do like your NFL picks on your podcast, and just wanted to just curious, like as far as like with your picks, does your inner like influence as a fan give you like, does that influence your picks?
Yes. I try my best not to pick the Giants or the Cowboys, because Giants is my team and I can't stand the Cowboys. So I know in my heart it's gonna, like, even I'm sitting there like, yeah, I think the Cowboys will cover.
Yeah.
No, or I know, man, the Giants about to get blown out because they suck. But no, I'm like, no.
But the Giants have had an interesting season so far. With so were you? So you were a fan of Tyrod coming in when he was
Virginia Tech?
Absolutely, hometown.
He did pretty good.
Yeah.
And I heard. I was like, this is Giants.
Yeah.
Then we got Danny DeVito, and it's just Tommy DeVito. Not Danny DeVito.
Tommy DeVito.
Oh, my bad.
He wouldn't be able to see over the line, I don't think.
Might be a running back.
No, I'm gonna have to get make AI generate Danny DeVito.
With a helmet.
DeVito, that dude, that's who I'm.
Tommy DeVito, yeah. Which I think he's a rookie this season.
Yeah, so
coming in.
I mean, we'll get him.
Yeah,
a break. we're just like, all right, well, we're just here, we'll see what happens.
I think, I think it definitely is a rebuild year for sure. So do you do going back, kind of like what you and Cor were talking about earlier, with gambling? Do you do any like FanDuel?
Mine is Caesars.
Caesars, okay. You use Caesars sports books, okay. Yeah, that's awesome. You got any exciting like thoughts on this week coming up?
Exciting week. I mean, we're playing the Cowboys and we're a 16-point underdog. I saw that. I'm like, man, cry, man. You want to cry?
I mean, the thing with sports, though, I mean, you never know. There's always. Is it in Dallas or is it?
I think it's in New Jersey. I didn't even look. I just saw Oh, we playing.
Seeing DAL, and you're like, oh man,
16 points. I'm like, dang.
I know they're expecting that Dallas defense, I guess, to pull out. But now I wanted to. So I do a segment, the Ry 5, but I think I'm going to do a Ry 3 on the fly, which is going to be a 3. And you go from number 3 to your number 1. Just curious, and I think of course people will know your number 1. But so gonna do your favorite NFL teams. So I'm gonna start with what would be your third favorite NFL team?
Ooh, the third one. That's a good freaking question. What would be my third? I got 2 and 1, but third one. Let me.
That was when I was thinking for mine. That was the one that got me. Was my number 3 because I've got my 2 and 1.
As a favorite team, well, I'm just gonna go with the Jets. Will be my third.
That's kind of controversial, isn't it?
Yeah. But see, me being from Connecticut, we don't have any professional teams. We had the Hartford Whalers in NHL. But I like the Jets because of Mark Gastineau.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
the Jets. Yeah, they've got a pretty good. They were, of course, if Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have got hurt, they would have had a pretty. Which they're doing all right, and with the way that medicine and advancements. So he's expected to come back? He potentially could come back later in the season, right?
Right.
After he tore, what was it, his ACL, MCL?
Something like that. One of those L's.
Yeah.
If he would have got the shot, he'd been all right.
Yeah.
That controversial.
That ayahuasca, maybe. But the Jets. So see, the Jets. That's a good one. They've got some good history too, as far as behind the team.
Mm-hmm.
With they've had two? Is it 2 Super Bowls?
I know they've had the one with Joe Namath.
Yeah,
that was the one.
So maybe it's just one. Maybe it is just one. But so the third team for me, I would have to pick the Commanders. Would be number 3 for me.
Okay.
And that's kind of just for it's kind of close to us. And I do like Sam from UNC. Sam Howell. Yeah. I think he's given, if they had a better line, I think he would perform a little bit better.
He's been slinging it.
He is, yeah. For sure.
They beat the Patriots, right, last week?
I think no. They
beat the Patriots last week.
Yeah. They so but he has been unfortunately sacked a lot this season.
It's not bad without Chase Young and all them. So
that is true. Yeah. So just moving on. What's your number 2?
Buffalo
team?
Bills.
The Bills. Okay.
When I was young, I had an AFC team and an NFC team,
mm-hmm.
and so Buffalo Bills were my AFC team. Bruce Smith, Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly, Cornelius Bennett. Oh man, there was Lofton, Reed. They had a
mean team.
They could have just won one Super Bowl.
I know.
Especially when they played the Cowboys.
I know.
They got spanked. I'm like, oh.
Was that back in the 90s, right?
I was still in school, so yeah, it was
Yeah, that was
It was terrible.
Was that when they had the? Because I know they had the like what was it? 3 years in a row, 3 or 4 years, 4 years in a row, where they went to the Super Bowl but could not win. 4 seasons in a row.
I think it was just. I want to say it was just NFC East teams. I know it was the Cowboys, Giants.
So maybe
the Redskins get them.
Maybe the Eagles.
No, it wasn't the Eagles.
No,
it wasn't the Eagles.
That was
Eagles
before.
Weren't good then.
No, yeah, that was.
I want to say the Cowboys got them twice. I know.
Could have.
When I first dated my wife, so it had to be. I want to say 92 and 93. Dallas got them because I remember going to a party, like a high school party, Super Bowl party, and it was terrible. And I know my wife and I just started dating, so it was 93. And so.
And the Cowboys won.
Cowboys. It was terrible.
Was there any like fans there like going straight for the Cowboys?
It's Roanoke.
I know for some reason Roanoke and like this area pulls a lot of Dallas attention
and
for some reason. Yeah, don't like, and they're like they've never been to Texas.
They're just bandwagoners. Why?
I don't know.
I'll be honest. I understand why. Black people are Dallas fans. I still don't get it. Jerry Jones, the owner, to me, he's like
super like
racist.
Yeah, super racist.
And this is my opinion. I'm sure these opinions on Snide Studios these aren't their opinions. That's just my opinion. Okay, don't get on them. But it was crazy. This dude was actually at the place when he was young with the black people trying to get into the daggone school. He's just sitting there, just chilling.
Like what?
And people were defending him with that.
Yeah, like oh my god. Like what? Don't make sense.
Yeah.
And
people defended that. Oh, he was young. Like, he was like 20, wasn't he? I don't. He was in high school.
Old enough to know better.
Right.
Old enough to know better. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's.
I didn't see him wearing any Malcolm X gear and Martin Luther King's T-shirt. He wasn't wearing that.
Protesting. He was protesting.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Oh,
that might be just silly.
That is
like
funny.
I said, it's not their opinion. It's just mine. Come at me.
Yeah, they have to. But so moving on, my number 2 would be the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
And that comes from I know.
Yeah, Cam Newton that one year.
Yeah.
He would have dodged for the ball. Because he was tired.
Speaking of a lot of sacks. There was a lot of sacks in this season because he running for his life.
Right.
Running for his life.
They did good with the Bears though last night. That was a pretty good game. They had a chance.
Almost. Yep. Eddie Pinheiro, if he would have been able to kick that field goal to go into overtime, they could have maybe won it. But given that's also like a Bears without Justin Fields, though, you know.
Well, that Tangent dude, he's all right. You see his dad?
Yeah, the arm wrestling competitor. What was it like? 25 time champion or something like that.
And he
for
he
arm wrestling.
He can play football.
He really did.
I didn't think that was his dad. I was like, that's his.
Like this man, he looks good for his age. I mean, he's so his arms, he is jacked. That dude is jacked. And I seen him in an interview where he was doing an arm, he arm wrestled the dude that was interviewing him, and and then took over the show. That dude needs his own podcast.
Right.
Like the dude that was it Tyler Bagent's dad?
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember his first name, but yeah, he was. But I mean, they've got Bears got a good season coming up. I mean, they're looking even better with the DJ Moore trade. That was DJ Moore's first game against Carolina, but Yeah, and also it's Carolina too, from where I lived in North Carolina for for a year. So like living in a state that has like pro sports, it's hard not to become a fan of that.
You're right.
Of that team. But so that Carolina would be my number 2. So before we do the number ones, do you have any honorable mention teams that you like that didn't make the list?
Not really.
No.
I'm not more of a team. I'm not a team. I'm more of a player.
Oh, player fan. Okay.
Yeah, like Deion Sanders. I used to love Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
And
prime time. Yeah.
I was hoping Tim Tebow would do. I was rooting for Tim Tebow so much, hard. Come on, Tim, you can do it. Come on, Tim.
And given how he dominated college too, the way, because he was a Florida Gator, and he had his little stint with baseball too. He was going to try to do baseball. I don't know if he's still playing or not, but he was. He had got a major league contract or something like that. Or had was playing baseball, but so crazy when you have those players who can do multi sports like that.
Yes.
Who can?
That's cool.
Wasn't Bo Jackson? Wasn't he one?
He played baseball and football. He was just like Deion Sanders.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Deion was one too. And then I know, of course, Michael Jordan tried it for a little bit.
Yeah. Another conspiracy thing, because he was gambling, got rid of him, so he had to go to play baseball. That was another conspiracy thing.
That is true. That is true.
That's why he played baseball.
But that man was addicted to gambling, though. He was addicted to gambling. Yeah. But because he had to make a living, had to pay it back.
Right.
But so of course your number 1 would be the Giants.
Yeah. LT. That's the reason why.
You said LT?
LT, Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, that was a mean dude in the NFL. Yep. And of course
they only beat the Buffalo Bills. That was rough because my 1 and 2 were playing. I had to go from the Giants.
Gotta go, yeah. But it is one of those though. If the Bills would have beat them, you would have been, of course, been happy, But they the only team that could beat Tom Brady too.
Yes,
right.
Eli. I don't understand how's there a debate of him not being in the Hall of Fame? That right there alone should put him in the Hall of Fame.
Given, and of course, different scandals that the Patriots endured. Know how clean of a team they really were, and to beat Belichick and Brady.
I know the freaking helmet catch. Come on, man, the helmet.
That helmet catch was crazy. Helmet catch was crazy.
Was it Manningham or something from the sideline? He caught the ball. Come on, man. Yeah. Eli Manning.
He was.
How you not? Hall of Famer. Eli Manning. And once again, this is not the opinion of Snide Studios, but it's my opinion. Eli Manning, Hall of Famer.
Not a huge Manning fan of either one, but I think he deserves it. I mean, given he's had so many over 4,000 yard seasons, and he's pretty reliable. I mean, a pretty reliable quarterback. He didn't really get hurt a lot.
Right. The interceptions. That was the rough part.
The interceptions. That is true.
Yeah. Being a Giants fan with Lawrence Taylor, and he also beat Bam Bam Bigelow at WrestleMania, so that's awesome. We'll throw that in there, that little wrestling.
They gotta, get the wrestling. But just gonna do. So my number 1 is the Seahawks, the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, okay.
And
with Gino or
I don't
Gino.
Last week, the way they got beat by the Ravens, that was sad. They turned the game off. They literally turned the game off. I was watching the Seahawks. I had to work, but I had it on my phone. But we also had it on at work on the TV, and it was like, what was it, 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter? They turned it to like the Bears game, which is just sad.
Do you miss Russell Wilson, or you're all right with Gina? Russell Wilson, one of those baseball, football players too.
That is true. He did, yeah, and also went to. Russell was the reason that I came over to the Seahawks.
Oh, okay.
So we had that and Marshawn Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
I love Marshawn Lynch.
Beast mode, yes.
Yeah.
Skittles.
Yeah, yeah. And so I had and also he recently. I love with hockey. I love the Seattle Kraken, and the Marshawn had actually he's he's a big like investor in the team.
Oh,
so that was pretty cool.
I think they won last night. The Kraken.
Yep, and overtime or not overtime. It was like a last second. They won 4-3 last night. I love their colors. Their colors are really neat.
See, you can tell I'm a gambler. What did he just say? Hockey? What? I know hockey.
So you're also into hockey
because of gambling.
No, that's right.
Because sometimes, like tonight, there's only last night there were only 2 NBA games, so I gotta find my fix somewhere else.
You have to, yeah.
But those Las Vegas Golden Knights, they're pretty good.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes.
They're the so they were the second newest team. So they had the Golden Knights, and then the Kraken's the newest team in the NHL. I think we're near the end of the. Take a little break.
Yeah, close it out like something to the effect of Snide Sports. This concludes Snide Sports.
So this concludes the section of Snide Sports. Thank you again, LA.